It is a stunning, beautiful, sunny Saturday morning here at Germany's Nürburgring. Last year, with rain showers and hailstorms, a very different proposition. Today, it is absolutely perfect. Well, cars on the grid in sunny weather. Rob Huff already expressing reservations about the ability of the tyres to survive in these temperatures. Last year, the year before, track temperatures would have been in the teens and in the early teens at that. Track temperature already 33 degrees, a cloudless sky. Thursday and Friday and today means that the track temperature will only soar. I mean, look at how warm it is. It's a real midsummer festival, even though we're still only in May. And this is unseasonably hot weather. Thiago Monteiro lining up 7th on our opening race grid. Our championship leader moved ahead again of his rivals with now 123 points to closest rival Nicky Katzberg's 85. So he is a long way clear of the rest of the field at the moment and needs to have a conservative race here, perhaps. Scoring any points at all will be vital. Ted Björk for Volvo, lying in 4th place in the championship. Björk already with 2nd place in the opening race in Marrakesh, won the main race in Monza. One of 5 different race winners. Tom Chilton is another one of those. He won the opening race in Italy. And indeed, the only man to have won more than once is our points leader, Thiago Monteiro. And it's definitely not beyond the bounds of possibility that we could leave the Nürburgring with 7 different winners from 8 races. And Matt, that underlines how a winter with no development in the Citroëns, but with development from Honda and Volvo, has allowed the 2 rivals to catch up with what has previously been the best car in the championship.
Well, Martin, with today's conditions and what's facing these drivers, literally anybody in the top 10, if even out the top 10, could win this race today. You know, it's going to be looking after your machinery, looking after your tyres, playing the long game. Getting round here is not an easy thing at the best of time when the car's working well, the conditions are on your side. But as we've got it today, it is literally, it's going to be survival of the fittest getting to the end.
Well, you've got to have that Indy 500 mentality, get to the final 100 miles of the race, and then see if you're in a position to be able to challenge for the win, because you're not going to win it in the first 400 miles.
I think it's going to be how fast do you dare push, and how hard do you dare push. You know, we've got some super quick boys at the back. You know, well, back end of the top 10, Katzberg and Michelitz, who are blisteringly quick in qualifying. They're going to want to make big points in both races, and so they're going to be pushing hard to come through. And slipstreaming is very prevalent here, so they can get a good tow. The Honda and the Volvo have been very good on the long straights with the slipstream. So, you know, those 2 guys are going to be pushing to get through. And it's how hard do they dare go?
Well, we just saw Esteban Guerreri's Chevrolet on the front row of the grid, but our DHL pole sitter in the blue Polestar Sign Racing Volvo is his compatriot, another Argentine. It is first pole position for Nestor Girolami. Girolami making his first appearance here on this track as well. So he is our opening race pole sitter, and he will head off the field, lead them around. First around the Grand Prix track, and then when they get to the end of that lap, instead of turning right around the back of the pit lane, they will turn hard left and out into the wild green yonder of the Nordschleife.
cities, one break. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem. Book your trip now.
The FIA WTCC is brought to you by JVC Kenwood.
See you at the end. Salut à tous, c'est Yann Haché. Vous êtes embarqué avec moi dans le tour de formation avec Malada. On chauffe les pneus, on chauffe les freins. On essaye de mettre tout en température pour le départ. Pour être honnête avec vous, je suis un peu inquiet de cette course. On a encore des problèmes de direction assistée. Et c'est vraiment pas le circuit où on a envie d'avoir ce genre de soucis. Mais bon, on est sur la grille. On va faire notre mieux pour rentrer dans les points. C'est très difficile de doubler ici. Mais voilà, on va tout donner. Allez, profitez bien de cette course. Et on se voit à l'arrivée. Ciao.
Remarkable composure from Yann El-Haché, talking his way around the lap in English and then, of course, in his native French.
You could be listening to a Van Muller, couldn't you?
I know, you really
It
could.
literally is.
You really could. And interesting to say, I'm a little bit scared of this because it's the Nordschleife and because we're not sure the power steering is going to work. And as he said, this is not the thing you
Martin,
want on
I just
this
hope
circuit.
he's okay today.
Yep, absolutely.
I really hope he's
Absolutely.
okay today because this is not the place to be having a problem like that. I mean, he got away with it
Yep.
in free practice, and let's just hope and pray he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And as he said, with all the high-speed corners, the bumps and the jumps, it does shock the system a lot. So cars are forming up on the grid behind our World Touring Car pack. The European Touring Car Championship field comes to the line as well. And we are ready for the opening race of Germany here at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Nesta Girolami, the blue Volvo, on pole position. The green flag waves. The grid is complete. Alongside Esteban Guerreri, the red, white and yellow. And the two Argentines will head the field away. The red lights are on and away we go. Good start from behind from Rio Michigami. That means a poor start in front of him from Nicky Katzberg's Volvo. But it's Girolami who takes the lead. Or is it Mehdi Benani? He's going to rub wheels. That's not what you want going into 3 laps of the Nordschleife. Girolami has the inside line. Behind him is the second of the Volvo. So that was a good start from Ted Björk. There's the European Touring Car Cup field. So Volvo first and third, Girolami and Björk. Between them is Benani. And here comes Tom Chilton inside Esteban Guerreri. And Guerreri will have the inside line at the Dunlop hairpin, and they bounce and make contact. And that leaves the door open right behind Willoughby Thiago Montero's Honda. And then you can see the black car of Rob Huff. So Guerreri, but that was in the Yokohama SS. This is the Dunlop hairpin. Guerreri holding on. And Thiago Montero inside Tom Chilton. Look at Chilton closest to us. There he goes with the Union flag on the roof, and the Castrol Honda of Thiago Montero, Rob Huff, Norbert Mikulec right there. Mikulec got ahead of Nicky Katzberg in the third of the Volvos. Nicholas and Katzberg will be our front row men in the main race. Matt Neal, this is the easy bit. I mean, really, this is the easy bit, and even so, there's dust being kicked up everywhere. So much for taking it easy.
Yeah, this is the easy bit, Martin, but they can't hold back. This is where they've really got to try and shuffle their way up, make the hay. But Montero in the citron sandwich at the moment, but he's got Michelitz. He needs Michelitz to come into the game and start pressurising Huff to take the onus off him, and so he can start to put some pressure on Chilton in front of him.
Turning left off the Grand Prix circuit, just exiting the Vidal chicane. And here we are now into the Hatzenbach. Looking back from Norby. And there is Nicky Katzberg behind him, Tom Coronel and Jan Erlaché. So Erlaché jumped Rio Michigami.
Yeah, this part as a driver, you go, right, we got the Grand Prix, we got the warm-up out of the way, now we start. Now you've got to start to concentrate.
And this part as well, you've got some big braking areas, some tight sections here.
Down into the Hatzenbach. When we get through this sequence of never-ending S-bends, will be flat-out drag over down towards the Flugplatz. Exiting now, the road drops away. It's hard to see from the helicopter angle here, and they'll come up over the crest. This is the point where some of them have been taking off in the past as the air gets underneath the car. Right-hand kink just afterwards. Can you hang on?
The rear wing, so you will not be fast on the long straight. So be patient. You will catch him.
Wow, okay. So they've given him a bit more rear wing, so he will not be fast on the long straights. Oh dear.
Well, I think a little bit of that will be trying to look after the tyres, Martin, because the less wing, the more you're going to be prone to sliding around. Already
over Flugplatz, the leaders now through Arenberg and continuing to sweep down the plunging mountainside into the foxhole.
Very steep. The car's going to a massive amount of compression, squashing the tyres down in the bottom of here.
And that's all part of it. You know, we talk about this place with the jumps and the bumps, but the compressions here, you'll get nowhere else other than maybe Spa, and that's only once a lap. Here you get it half a dozen times a lap.
In the bottom of that foxhole, as a driver, you are literally squashed into the bottom of your seat. It's hard to describe the feeling you get through there.
So through Adenauer Forest, already 6 kilometres into the lap. It's a 15-kilometre lap compared to 4.5 for most Grand Prix circuits. And that's why it is a 3-lap race.
A lot of this, Martin, will be each of the drivers pushing, but not too hard, waiting for the guy in front or behind to make a mistake.
Yeah, and hoping not to get caught up in his accident. Remember, that happened last year. Thiago Montero had a blowout, the car was pitched into the barriers, and Ivan Muller was the unlucky punter behind who couldn't avoid the mess. Somehow Pachito Lopez, because that's the way his luck was running, squeezed through a gap, but the gap was shut by the time Ivan got to it, and he was out on the spot as well. Looking back from Norby, that's Nicky Katzberg, looking forward from Katzberg, plunging down to the bridge at Adenauer.
Yeah, coming down to one of the lowest points of the circuit.
Yeah. So this is Exmüller, and now climbing, and this is really steep as well. You know, that plunge down and the climb out, the plateau at the bottom again, and maybe a little longer than Eau Rouge, but the descent and the ascent
okay, we're going around the right hand of Bergwerk. Now it's a climb. It's a climb. You've got to keep into the throttle. This is a long climb. You can hear the engine note change, just lowers a bit slightly because the gradient, the cars are having to climb their way up.
And so much longer than the Kemmel Straight at Spa as well, and still climbing and still climbing.
Volvo's getting a good slipstream on the Honda here.
Now, has he got somewhere to get through?
If he can just stay with him, he can have a stab at the top.
Yeah, that tight right-hander before they get to the carousel. He's not close enough, is he? Norby just feathering the brakes there, just to settle the nose. And you know, Matt, all these little tricks that drivers learn lap after lap here.
Yeah, look, because the car's on its tiptoes, it's up in the air, just round Klosterol on the run down to carousel now. You'll see the cars drop in. Have to be careful how much throttle they give it so it doesn't spit them out.
Yeah, Because you want to come out at the end of that concrete strip, not halfway round.
Yeah, through some of the those high-speed stuff, they'll just be settling the brakes just to try and settle the car down, just on the suspension, just find that little bit more grip rather than slow the car down at all.
Up to the right-hander at Hohe Acht, highest part of the circuit here. And this is like skyline on the mountain, isn't it, at Bathurst? You know, this is really huge spectator areas because it's always so dramatic to watch the cars around here.
You can see the campsites, everyone built into the trees. It's a proper festival atmosphere for these guys this weekend.
From Wipperman through Eschbach and down to Brunchen, and Brunchen through to Flansgarten, this super spectacular part of the circuit. The campsites throbbing with disco music, all sorts of German house, and with the smell of barbecues and the smell of beer never far away.
Yeah, the fans getting onto the track at night, and you can see the graffiti as everyone has their say, puts their name on, writes their favourite team on there, so it's become to be a bit of an iconic thing for the ring.
Yep. And still plunging on, Nesta Girolami with the lead, can't escape Mehdi Banani. Look, Banani is really sticking to his guns. And in third place, the blue Volvo of, which of the three Volvos was that? Oh, it's Ted Bjork, yes.
Yeah, Ted Bjork in third.
Exactly, so
he had an amazing start from back then, had to muscle his way through a bit.
Esteban Guerreri there with the red highlights in the mini carousel. That's at the Schwedenschwanz.
Yeah, it looks like Chilton's got a run on Guerreri. Guerreri's definitely holding him up at that second group up.
And now they get onto Dottinger Höhe. Now they get onto the 2 mile straight back to the final chicane. And this is where the slipstreaming queue is going to go mad. Don't look at the top three, they will close up, but look behind. Who's going to pop out the slipstream first?
Yeah, you can look at the top three. They're all trying to break the toe for the car behind
because the toe here is massive.
Here comes Chilton.
Absolutely
He's got to do it before he gets to the Tiergarten because the gap's going to close very, very rapidly.
Still getting a slight side toe. Here comes Ted Bjork. Banani was dead in the water. He wasn't close enough to Girolami. Bjork works that very well. And into the Tiergarten, he's got the position. Chilton has gone by Guerreri as well. So Chilton up to fourth, Bjork up to second. Nesta Girolami leads at the end of lap one. Ted Bjork in second place. Mehdi Banani in third, and everybody else fanning out now. Tom Chilton in fourth place, ahead of Esteban Guerreri, and Rob Huff got up to sixth, and he's looking down the inside of Guerreri. Huff got by Montero, we didn't see that.
Yeah, Huff's trying to go around the outside, have the inside for turn two. Guerreri's forced him.
Guerreri sees that one coming. He knows this track well, Guerreri.
Guerreri's no mug.
No, he knows the Grand Prix circuit, although he's never raced on that tight little first chicane on the Grand Prix circuit. But he keeps Rob Huff behind, and then Thiago Montero and Norbert Mikelitz 7th and 8th. Sweeping through the Yokohama S's and down towards the Dunlop hairpin. This is the normal Grand Prix circuit, 2.5 mile Grand Prix circuit here. There's Jan Erlache ahead of Rio Michigami and John Philippi. So Erlache and Michigami, raw rookies, 11th and 12th. Philippi raced here last year, but clearly not feeling the pace here.
Now what's going to be interesting is Chilton's had some good results around here. Won last year, fastest lap last year. Banani's been struggling all this weekend, so now Chilton's freed himself from the back of the Chevy. It's going to be interesting to see if he can make some roads into Banani and look for that final podium place.
Well, winners on that lap were Ted Bjork, who moved up to second, Chilton, who moved up to fourth, Huff, who moved up to sixth, Norby moved up to eighth. That was at the start. They've all picked up a place, and Chilton is closing on Banani, and Guerreri behind him, and then Rob Huff with the two Hondas behind, and Montero and Mikelitz are going to sit there, aren't they? Because Montero needs a score. He can't afford a zero, even though he's the championship leader. And Mikelitz wants to start the main race from pole position with a car that's intact. Don't forget, after qualifying, we went into Mach 3 with one Honda missing a damper and with one of the Volvos with a chronic vibration problem. they head back out onto the Nordschleife. Take a look again at the...
Oh.
Now, was he creeping? No, he stopped before the lights went, Nestor Girolami.
Yeah, but that is an arguable point.
Got a great start.
Yeah, Björk got the dream start.
Well, if he was still in his pit box, Girolami was okay.
It's a point of debate.
Daniel Nagy made a good start from behind, got away from Aurélien Panis, got ahead of Gleeson. Look at the back row of the World Touring Car field, and Panis down the inside. That was a proper racer start from Aurélien Panis.
Bernani was trying every which way around Girolami, wasn't he?
And then drifted out very wide, and Ted Björk nearly got through.
Polestar guys just looking on. Yeah, Björk's.
Yeah, off like
really
a rocket.
Drills the two Chevys.
Oh,
he has to
found the room, didn't he? There
has to stick his elbows out. He's on his way. Chilton tries to squeeze him, but he's coming through.
And that was between between the Citroens. So Chilton on one side, Bernani on the other. Little bump there. Was that behind Tom Chilton? Was that Thiago's camera? Yes, it was.
No, it was it was Thiago's camera, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oop, and Norby, I think that was bumping over the curbs, Norby. And Katzberg there already being jumped by Norby, getting inside Michigami, and the onboard with Jan Erlache showed he got past Michigami as well. Coronel and Huff wheel to wheel on the outside, and that was Thiago kicking up the dirt on the inside line. Back out onto the Nordschleife with our race leader, Nestor Girolami. Now, Thiago Montero, what's he think?
I think we're going to listen to puffing and panting at the moment.
Yeah.
Bit of concentration going on there.
Well, you know,
Fuck you! You pushed me on the grass, motherfucker! Come on! Get out of the track, you cannot come back like this!
I'm assuming that was not on the Nordschleife, but on the Grand Prix circuit, because if it had been on the Nordschleife... Here's a replay with...
This is Coronel.
And
he's got to run on Katzberg.
Wow. Now, remember
he should have the inside. Oh, no, Katzberg's going to hold him out.
In qualifying, Katzberg wound off a bit of wing for his final run and then complained of a chronic vibration. We heard them saying, as they come over the bridge at Adenau, we heard them saying to Ted Björk at the beginning of the race, you've got more wing, you won't be quick in a straight line. So there's obviously something where they're trimming out the rear wing, it's changing the aero balance at the extreme speeds we've got here. Maybe they're getting a bit of porpoising at the front of the car.
Yeah, I don't think Bernani thought Björk was slow in a straight line on that lap one.
Well, listen, if you're carrying a big wing, then the accelerative effect when you get in the tow is even greater, because it reduces more of the drag than if you've got a lower drag
Says
car.
Martin Have, the aerodynamicist.
It stands to reason. Stands to reason. If you've got your palm flat out of the car at 70 miles an hour, then the drag is greater than if you've got it at an angle. And so therefore you take away the wind, you feel that relief more.
It looks like Björk's closing on Girolami.
Yeah, he's in the slipstream and he wants to win this race. Don't forget, Girolami is behind him in the points. Nestor's only 9th in the championship. Ted Björk is...
Well, leaving Monza, Björk was leading until, you know, Thiago's had a dream dream run in Hungary in comparison.
Björk's only 8 points out of 2nd place in the championship. So 8 points cover Nicky Katzberg, Tom Chilton, Ted Björk. He's in front of Nicky Katzberg and Tom Chilton now, so he needs to score more points. 25 better than 18.
Yeah, there's tremendous friendly rivalry in that Volvo team, isn't it? There's a definite barracking for... is that...
Good battle going on behind. That's Huff and Chilton.
No,
Chilton and Guerrieri, yeah. So, no, Huff and Guerrieri. Huff with the black car and the Union flag on the roof, because Chilton got by, of course, didn't he? So Esteban Guerrieri.
But now we were hoping Guerrieri was going to be going forward because he's light.
He was hoping as well.
Well, yeah.
But again, never raced here before, whereas Rob's done a couple of 24-hour races, plus the VLN races before that, the 4-hour, the 6-hour races that you've got to do to get your licence. We've got a slow car after turn 62. That is right towards the end of the lap.
Yeah, 73 corners on this lap, but it seems as though the Volvos are coming back to the clutches of Bernani. These Citroens, whether they're looking after their tyres better, Huffy's coming into the game, Chilton and Bernani are closing in on Girolami and Björk, so we could get this tightening up a lot as we move into the second half of this lap.
Well, Guerrieri on this lap, not as quick as he was on the first lap, so it's taken something out of the tyres, and he doesn't have the pace now that he did on the opening lap. Chilton is quicker, Bernani and Björk are quicker, Girolami isn't. Part of the reason that Björk is quicker than leader Girolami is part of the reason that Huff's quicker than Guerrieri, because he's in the slipstream on the quick stuff.
I'm surprised the Hondas are still bottled up where they were, the two Castrol Hondas. I was expecting them to sort of make their way forward, because they've been strong on the straights as well up to now. Guerrieri definitely having to watch his mirrors at the moment through the mini carousel.
Yeah.
This is going to be Huff's big opportunity.
Yep. And this is what you have to do. Sometimes you just have to bide your time for an entire lap until you get to Dottinger-Her.
Yeah, he just needs a really good exit from here, Martin.
Yeah.
If he can get a good exit, he's close enough now.
Yep. There you go. That's all he needs. He's in the tow. And we saw what Jose Maria Lopez could do. Come on, it needs to be closing faster. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now, look at the leaders as well. Girolami has got Ted Björk hoving up behind him, and Chilton in fourth will close on Bernani. Björk's out of the slipstream. He's getting a side tow as well, because don't forget the wake will go out like a boat. And Huff had enough speed to slingshot by. Guerrieri is sticking with it. Oh, this is going to be like wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge. Oh, there's the slow car, and that is Plamen Kralev in his TCR car. Oh, it's not. It's Christian Hannes Schreiber who's got a puncture, right puncture. However, Huff has got by. So Guerrieri had to bail out of that one, and the leader across the line, is it Girolami or is it Ted Björk? It is Björk.
It's Björk.
So Björk's got the lead of the race. He's already been a winner.
And Girolami's immediately under pressure from now, the two Citroens.
Yeah. Chilton not closing as much there as I thought he might. Maybe he lifted off because he wasn't sure where that slow car was. And then the two Castrol Hondas.
Yeah, Guerrieri now going defensive on the two Castrol Hondas.
Yep. Well, Montero and Mikulits. Montero can't afford any sort of impact. Guerrieri here. Oh, bits. Oh, that's bits of debris from that red Honda.
Or was it bits of debris falling off the Chevrolet, I think?
No, it was in the road. Surely it can't be going if that was bits falling out of his car. That's the damaged Honda.
I was worried Huff had gone too early there, and then he was trying to come back at him.
Well, it's like when you go early up out of Eau Rouge, then the guy behind tucks back in and he gets the slipstream and counterattacks, and you're absolutely right. And Guerrieri was coming right back down the inside.
Huffy was trying to get it done early before they got into the Tiergarten and the road closed up.
Katzberg on Coronel.
Oh, look at the speed differential there. It is. Oh my goodness.
Yikes. And both of them with lots of 24-hour experience. And this was Ted Björk and Nestor Girolami dead in the water. Could do nothing at all about Björk, who swept round the outside at Antonin-Spucher. And there is that slow Honda.
Right then.
Yeah. It is Christian Hannes Schreiber. So he is out of the touring car race, the European Touring Car Cup. Here's Nicky Katzberg.
Hey, Nicky, I appreciate the problems, but you're doing a great job there. Quick sectors, quicker than the lead cars. Let's see if we can close the gap on the final lap. Come on, do what you can.
Well, Katzberg.
So what's up with Katzberg?
I don't know. Doesn't look like a vibration. The steering wheel's not throbbing away in his hands, but he's obviously got some issue.
That was Björk, so wasn't it?
Well, Katzberg, I don't know what his problem is, but I mean, normally when there's a vibration on a tyre, you see the whole car shaking.
To be fair, Martin, I was expecting Katzberg and Norby to come through here, because they've been blistering, especially Katzberg. He's been blisteringly fast all weekend, so...
I love this section of the track. It's not the fastest, it's not the bounciest, but it just keeps going at you, and corner after corner after corner.
Hard up through the gears now. Over to the Flugplatz.
Yeah, Ted Björk.
Car and weight.
Good driving, Ted. Very good driving. Take care of the car. You are fastest on the track. You're pulling away from Bernani, so no risk from behind at all. Take care in the last chicane on your last lap, because there can be some debris and gravel on the track from the red car that was passing there, because he went a little bit over the grass. So looking really good. Ted, take care of the tires.
I think he's riding around Arnberg, down into the Foxhole now, if I'm getting my bearings right.
Yep. Plunging down the hill again into the compression. And he said, okay, no threat from behind. Does that mean that Nesta Girolami will not attack Ted Bjerg and try and win the race?
Don't you bank on it.
Well, it's a little early in the season to be asking him not to bother, isn't it?
No, I'm sure the Argentinian would have other ideas of that.
You've got to let them race. Maybe they meant no threat from behind with Banani, so you only have to watch your own teammate and you sort it out between yourselves. Well, there is our four-car battle. Guerrieri, Montero, Mikulits and Katzberg. And for whatever reason, Montero and Mikulits don't have the speed to challenge the Chevrolet at the front of this queue. And Katzberg, with some undefined issue off, has gone Thiago Montero. That is our championship leader.
Now he's got to get back to he's got to get back, Martin. He needs to get back for race 2.
Now, why has he gone off?
That's a puncher. That's a right front puncher, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And he's a long way out.
He is a long way from home. He hasn't even got... Okay, so...
Well, at least he's kept it out the barriers.
Yeah. So where are we here? Metzgersfeld? Not quite, no. So,
oh, I'll tell you what, that is a long way out.
Yep.
That is one of the furthest points on the circuit away.
He's got about another 9 kilometres to get back. That is a very long way home. And here we go, bang.
Now, Norby's going to have seen that, so he knows there is an issue because they'll be running very similar setups. That is a proper wound.
Flat tire, flat tire, flat tire, flat tire. Cannot believe this shit.
Okay, Thiago, try to come back to the pit.
He's got to try and limp it back without destroying the suspension, which as the tyre destroys itself.
And of course, now the World Touring Car field has gone by, he's not alone on the circuit because there's a European Touring Car Cup race coming up hard behind him, so he's going to have to watch his mirrors for them as well.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to be coming up at racing speed over the blind sections. Katzberg's...
Oh, and another Volvo. Which one is that? 61, that's Girolami. Girolami has also had a puncture. Nesta Girolami out of second place.
I told you, Martin, this is going to be survival of the fittest.
Wow. And how far has he got? He hasn't even got to the carousel, has he?
Yeah,
this is on the... Is that not the run-up to the carousel?
Oh, just goes on the way in.
And isn't that...
Oh,
that's where Thiago went off last year, isn't it?
That's a hard hit, that is.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So...
oh, scary stuff. Look at that. And everybody now is going to be so paranoid about their tyres, except for Katzberg.
Katzberg's smelling blood. Was that...
Well, Norby's just backed off. Yeah, okay, off you go. Yeah. Off you go. I need this tyre under me. Norby needs points. You know, as much as Thiago can ill afford a 0, he can afford a 0. Norby needs points.
I'm
Norby
surprised
is
Katzberg's
nowhere.
pushing that hard. He'll have seen Girolami go off the same.
Yeah. Well, Nicky Katzberg has seen the championship leader puncture. Katzberg is second in the standings. Matt, he's got to. He's got to. Into the carousel. This is Thiago, Norbert Mikulits with Katzberg behind. So this is where it started. Oh, Nicky.
Yeah, Michelitz lets him go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lets him go.
Well, listen, if somebody gets alongside you, you don't fight it here like you do on the Grand Prix circuit. Yeah, no kidding. Big sighs of relief from everybody, or big exhalation of breath anyway, not a sigh of relief. Nobody in Bjerg's mirrors. That means Banani is second, Chilton third, Huff fourth, Guerrieri fifth.
We've still got a good percentage of this lap to go, Martin.
Yep. And that Volvo is not hanging around as he gets to the most demanding part of the track.
Well, the Citroens are pushing him, but they've had tyre issues in free practice around here as well, so they're not bulletproof.
Nope. Into the mini carousel at Schwalbenschwanz. And Bjerg is really pushing. Fastest third sector for him on that lap.
You can try and look after your tyres, but there's just no way you can. I mean, it's the heat out there, Martin, and the jumps. You're airborne in 5 points on this circuit.
And look, he's only a second ahead of Banani. It'll be enough. Bjerg is slowing. Is he? Is Banani not closing? And Huff's coming up behind Chilton for third. No, Björk is not slowing dramatically compared to Bernani. Suddenly it looked as though Bernani got closer. Maybe that's the foreshortening effect of the camera.
Could Huff do
and
this?
Look at the heat haze. Yeah, Huff will do him because he's right up behind Chilton. And it's going to be all guts and glory here from Huff. Long way round the outside at Antonis Buscher. And Chilton's going to try and hold the line there, wheel to wheel. Huff's going round his nose. He's got the inside line into Tiergarten, and now he can get onto the brakes. Crikey, and Matt, that is absolutely flat in sixth gear, that sweeping sequence there. Ted Björk will win the opening race for Volvo.
Wonderful, Ted, wonderful. You select the classic places to be the best. Very good driving, very smart driving, very good with the car and everything. Congratulations.
Mehdi Bernani second, Rob Huff third, Chilton, Guerreri and Hansberg in sixth place. Norman Micheli seventh ahead of Tom Coronel. Jan Erlache survives race one, ninth ahead of John Philippi.
So much for looking after his tyres. Rob Huff, fastest fifth sector of the race on his last lap. So he was properly on it. He wasn't holding back.
Nope. You can't take the racer out of the boy.
That will be a relief for a lot of these guys.
Yes, especially for those whose teammates had tyres let go. Nestor Girolami is stuck out on the circuit. And it doesn't look like he's going any further.
And he's still sat in there.
He's given a thumbs up to the marshal. We know he's not injured. It's just that he doesn't feel, or he's been advised by the team,
can't get out,
not
Martin.
to drive the car.
He can't get out. Especially with the ETC field coming through.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to get out, to be honest. Safest place will be in a roll cage, in a seat, strapped in with all your gear on. Ted Björk then, winner of the opening race. Thiago Montero still trying to limp the car back to the pits. You can hear the tyre flapping away under Thiago Montero's Honda. Matt, you've been in this position before. It's horrendous, the noise inside the car. You think it's going to rip itself to pieces?
It does rip itself to pieces. That's the problem, Martin. You can see it's already destroyed a lot of the front bumper, a splitter, front fender, and he's still a long way out there.
Yeah, now he's coming down to Brunchen and to Flansgarten, so he's still got a long way to go. About 4 or 5 miles from home.